you've shifted your focus, responding to your readings, etc., and taking on board those ideas. In that regard, I'm really pleased to see what you've generated. There are some aspects I think are more successful than others. The colour is very dramatic, and you need to make sure you've kind of managed that successfully. The monochrome, is that what that is? From a distance back there, I thought that was some sort of handwritten text, but it's Braille, is that right? Okay. So my instinct is at the moment the charcoal is the most successful. I agree with you. And I think this installation shots are very successful. That's a stainless steel one, is that right?
Yes.
That's okay. Understood. Cool. I'm really intrigued. You're taking a print of a print. I don't know if you kind of spoke about that, but you've taken a print of the print. And this here, again, the laser cut is a printing process. You are migrating from a matrix to it. It's just a very different sort of printing process. So I anticipate that this will provide you with an enormous amount of resources. There's some really beautiful outcomes over here that I think this is where I would be recommending you travel. This one, the two colours, or the three colours, the multiple colours, there's been slight shift. So you put down one rubbing, and then there's been a slight shift, so the next colour, it's the same image, but it's a slight shift.
Because
I think that is got significant potential for your investigation at this point, which will be quite difficult to manage on large scale, but that's probably something I would be looking at, because you're taking multiple prints of a print all on the same piece of paper, etc. It's happened over here a bit too. See the colour underneath, the red?
Yeah.
So not that you have to go that strong with colour, but it's that multiple impressions of the same print beneath that I think is something that I encourage you to pursue. And then to contrast it with fragments of text, which will contextualise the whole thing quite successfully. This is the whole body of work, and during semester we will encourage you to edit, to build up ability, like a critical eye, to pick out which ones are working more successfully, or together which ones are more. That's something that we'll kind of work through.
But what about just doing one big piece?
Fine, go for it. But to do that, you would need to pick like all these reference and become a point of reference.
Yes,
Actually, like this is what I would be heading towards personally, but you might find, no, I want to head for whatever the reason is. We want to hear that. What are the thinking behind that choice?
Okay, because I wasn't going to include the text. I thought I should just stick to the knitting and just do the timber prints rather than including the text. But maybe I do a second piece with like the big sign.
That's okay. But what are your thoughts around that?
I think the text really adds something.
Too much?
No, as a separate piece, the text will complement.
Yeah, okay.
The print of the timber.
And you could do it so the two pieces of paper are not even the same size.
Yes, they won't be the same size.
Michael?
It's a great exploration, Liz. But so what I'm looking at is like, I would be concentrating on doing a print of that seat.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
And these are like
at scale. I wouldn't worry about text. Text is confusing. What you want is dimensionality and depth. This is a palette that you choose from. This is, that's very beautiful, but it's really about actually, so when you unfold that, it's, you have basically printed an object, so it'd be there, the paper would fold round, and the edges. So even though that's a very simple shape, How you actually make a print of that is the really difficult thing. How you actually work out how to do that. The paper that you use to do it. How you position the paper, how you hold the paper, how you fold the paper. How you fold the paper to get that corner indent. How you fold the paper to go from that edge across there, up that edge and down. Because when you take that off, those rubbings will show those shadows.
Yes, I was thinking of cutting the paper at one point, but I didn't know whether I should do that or not.
My guess is no. You know, you get a milk carton and you unfold the milk carton and you see the object all flattened out. That's what I think we're talking about. The notion that you get a piece of paper that you're going to have to work out how to position it to catch the object. So when the piece of paper is shown as a flat object, you can see it's like that seated thing.
Because you don't want to end up with a big piece of paper just with wood grain on it.
No. True.
You don't, because that's completely meaningless in terms of your exercise. Because what you're engaging with a three-dimensional object that you're extracting a dimensionality and also materiality off that object that will then be presented as a flat. So it has to have this thing of like, you'll be looking at it in some sort of strange plan form. But that plan actually has to describe...
You came from an architectural background, didn't you?
No, I've studied a little bit of architecture.
A object in some way.
Yeah, well, see, this is why I was so excited about coming here today, just to get your feedback to help me on the next part of the journey.
Yeah, it could be also that you actually just look at that space there.
Yeah.
Or, where was the other one? Or this.
Yes.
Or that one. It doesn't have to be a
complete thing, but it's what you're undertaking is quite complex.
I would encourage it to be three-dimensional. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that you have to kind of fold out a strange... I mean, imagine trying to rub that.
Yeah, I did think about that. But what I found, actually, I was mentioning to Maria, with this one, I got the most detailed print, and yet you wouldn't have, I didn't think I would. So it's down here, where you notice all the tiny dots.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's more detailed than any of the other prints.
It's cement. Oh, it's industrial, whereas the wood
Yeah.
is organic. What do people think?